Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cocktails and Rocktails with me, your most notorious groupie, Allison Rouse, and author of We've Got Tonight, The Life and Times of Notorious Groupie Me, written and lived by me. Link to where you can get my book is down in that description, along with my merchandise. Got some funny shirts there. Go check them out. Along with our drink of the day, everything. So go down in that description like you were going down in the 80s. All right. And again, thank you, as always, thank you so much for all the love and support you guys have been giving me, not just on this channel, but in so many other aspects of my life. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. For those of you who don't know, I was recently involved in a car wreck that totaled my car. Fortunately, I walked away with stitches and this bruise and a little bit of soreness, because it could have been a lot worse. I mean, literally, I heard a crash and saw white and thought, oh God, is this it? But no, it was the airbag, fortunately, and I'm so thankful for all the love and support and that it didn't turn out worse. So thanks a lot, you guys. And welcome to all the new people that I'm meeting here. You guys are friggin' awesome. Welcome to the party. Thank you for bringing more love and positivity. That's what we love here. Can't even tell you guys how much I appreciate it all. So today we're going to be talking about how not to mouth off to a groupie, or what not to say. I'm going to tell you a little story about some dumbass that mouthed off to me and Danny, and why you should never mouth off to a groupie. So, and we're going to be drinking one of my favorite local shades right here, their peach cobbler flavor, because I love it. And oh boy, didn't that guy's night just turn out peachy in this story. So everybody, grab your peaches. Woo. Kick up your feet, and let's have a little cocktails and rocktails. My favorite thing to do today with everybody is to have these cocktails. I love it. So cheers, big ears. Ooh, the cinnamon tastes so good in this. I love shades. These guys are awesome. Link to their brew house is down there. See if you can find it anywhere in your state, because these guys are badass. All right, so I'll put the passes up as pictures. We're going to talk about, I was actually living in Las Vegas in 1998 while Jimmy Page and Robert Plant were doing the Walking to Clarksdale tour for that really awesome album, Walking to Clarksdale. And they were going to be coming to Las Vegas. They were going Salt Lake, Los Angeles, Las Vegas. So I thought, okay, I'll go hook up with the tour in Salt Lake City. Go back to Vegas, and they'll be in Vegas the next couple days. So, and that's kind of how it happened. But anyway, so I had flown in. There's a silly story about this, how we met up with the tour. And it was, there was a bunch of new hotels, because this was getting closer to the Olympics after Salt Lake City had got the Olympics. Construction starts, so there's all these new hotels. And I get off the plane and I keep telling Danny, no, I swear to God, it's the Courtyard by Marriott. I swear to God. She's like, no, there is no Courtyard by Marriott. So we stopped by like the Residence Inn or something by Marriott, and we were like, yeah, we need to check in. And we told them the tour and told them the names and stuff, our names, whatever. No, ma'am, you're not registered. We don't have any of these names. We're like, no, check this name, or check that. No, ma'am, we don't have this name. And we're like, oh, fine, we've got the confirmation number back at my mom's house. So, because my mom had written it down or something. But anyway, so we go back to my mom's, we started to go back to my mom's house. Don't get a block away from this other Marriott hotel when we see, yep, there it is, the Courtyard by Marriott. And the other Marriott had called ahead to that Courtyard because they figured the second we pulled out, we would see the other hotel, then they would be expecting us. So we're checking in, getting everything ready, signing whatever we need to sign at the front desk, when all of a sudden there's another phone call from the Residence Inn Marriott. And the guy behind the desk is talking, and he's like, okay, puts the phone down. He goes, seems the rest of the tour has made it. Well, they did the exact same thing we did. They went to the wrong hotel before coming to the hotel that we were supposed to all be checking in. So kind of little tour mishaps that happen sometimes, especially when you've got a bunch of new hotels and it's not a hotel that bands would normally stay at. But that's not the point of this story. Anyway, they're in town for a few days. We all go up to Park City. We have a picnic, a bunch of champagne and sandwiches in the middle of the day. Not even gonna tell you what Jimmy said. Little fucker. Anyway, so comes the night of the show, right? And, you know, like I said, Danny and I are just minding our own business. We're just hanging out backstage, talking, when Renge comes. Because, you know, you got to give the guys a little space and time to get ready to go on stage. We had watched the opening act. You know, cool, whatever. Went back, was doing, going into our dressing rooms, just hanging out and stuff. And I'll tell the story about this night later on. This will be a whole different story because it's not the Jimmy Page and Robert Plant are not the actual focus of this video, but there's a whole other story that goes on with this. So anyway, Renge's like, all right, ladies, do you want to go to the side of the stage of the FOH? And we're like, let's go. And Renge's someone that we've known for a long time. He's worked for Metallica, Page and Plant, bunch of different bands that we've known throughout the years. I think Def Leppard, stuff like that. So we've been around Renge a long time. So we're just walking out. He's like, all right, ladies, because groupies never go anywhere unescorted. There's always going to be a roadie, a tour manager, a security guard, someone who's going to make sure she gets out to that FOH and back safe and sound, because, you know, going out in the crowd can be kind of rough and tumble, especially if there's general admission happening. So anyway, we're coming out, like if you're facing the stage, we're coming out of stage right. And the main floor is here, and then right up is where the risers start, and here's our entrance to where we're coming out. So Danny and I are just talking to Renge, catching up, having our own conversation, minding our own business. When he opens the gates, the security, the yellow jacket, the local security guard, see us coming out. They open the gate for us to go. And Renge's, you know, New Zealand, Australian, I think, and just rough and tumble, you know, really cool guy, really sweet guy, but don't take no shit. When all of a sudden we see some preppy ass motherfucking douchebag standing there in some white button down and jeans, like probably 20s, late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s, somewhere around there. And he looks down and goes, oh look, it's a couple professional groupies. Excuse us? He's like, you heard me. Who you blow to get back there? Or something to that effect, because Renge just turns to us and we're like, Danny and I are about to get scrappy, and Renge's like, ladies, you know your way to the front of the house? And we're like, yeah, we do. When next thing, he's like, all right, make yourself safe. And he grabs one of the security guards to walk with us to make sure we get safe. And there's a whole crowd right here watching this going on. And his friends, who he was being a little mouthy, drinking his fucking $20 Bud Light. Dude, got fucking some balls on you. Because Lord knows you had a tiny penis to be having that kind of mouth to people who were not. And, you know, we've got our passes on. He's got his laminate. We're obviously coming from backstage. We're not being kicked out. We're just minding our own business. So why the fuck you need to go and say it in such... It wasn't what he said. It's the manner he said it in. Oh, professional groupies. So then Renge's like, all right, ladies, get yourselves to this FOH. We were like, okay. So as Danny and I were walking, security guard's kind of laughing. He's like, I'd like to see what he's doing. I'm like, oh God, you don't know Renge. So we turn around and we look, and then just see Renge reach up, grab the guy's shirt by his collar, and just yank him over that railing. That guy didn't know what hit him. Like, he was trying to fight and you know, fell down, ended up falling on his fucking face. Deservedly, rightfully so. You know, just hold your opinion to yourself, because we could have been his Robert's or Jimmy's daughters for all they knew. He didn't know who the fuck we were from who didn't, what just hit him. He didn't know, you know, nothing. So anyway, and then we see Renge picking him up with another security guard, and they're taking him backstage. And this is what actually happened. We didn't see this part, but this is what we were told later in the night by my friend Robbie, who actually was working for the band and the person who invented the Cheers Big Ears. So Robbie Jarvis, who's unfortunately no longer with us, many years ago he committed suicide, so rest in peace. But that's kind of why I always say cheers, big ears. So anyway, this is what happened. So they take this douchebaggery guy, dragging him backstage, and Robert and Jimmy and everybody, the band's all walking up to stage, and they're like, oh, what's going on here? And they were like, oh, he was very insulting to the ladies and told them what they said. And Jimmy Page was just like, why'd you need to say that? He's like, yeah, he's like, he needs to go. And him and Robert were like, yeah, just 86 him. So this guy who was getting ready, probably paid $500 at the time for his tickets, got escorted out the back and off of that property. Because he thought he was being a big dog, just, you know, oh, groupies are such dumb whores and worthless and nobody cares how they're talked to. I bet you they just blew the whole road crew. No, just Jimmy Page. At least me. Because I defected. Ooh. Anyway, so yeah, that's what he got. Never mouth off to the women you see backstage. You don't know who the fuck they are. And if you do, trust me, you will get your ass. And this is before, you know, our day and age when respect is very important. And we are being taught very much these days how not to be assholes to each other. Even though we've known our whole lives, it's just things have gotten out of control. So anyway, yeah, this is before that. Now, oh yeah, now you're getting fucking kicked the fuck out. Without a doubt, you are being unceremoniously escorted out like this guy is. Because like I said, groupies are not disposable whores. We are old friends of the band and the crew and everybody else on that tour. And we're part of their world, not you. And like I said, you didn't know who we were. We could have been their girlfriends, their wives, their daughters, their family, their cousins, their publicists. Something that in this guy's feeble mind was a more respectful situation. But I hate to tell you, groupies are just as respected as all those women. And sometimes a little bit more. So there you go. There's that little story and a little bit of a why you should never mouth off to the groupies. Groupies have all the power. That was one thing us groupies in the 80s realized. The 60s and the 70s groupies, they were merely arm candy to go with the rock and roll, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, you know, lore and legend. But in the 80s, no. Groupies held all the power, and we knew it. And it showed that day, because our old friend Renge, who we had known for years and years and years, was standing up for us and not for the guy. So you want to see a show? Keep your mouth to yourself. Alright guys, hope you liked my little story of the day. There is more that goes with it, so I will tell more about what happened backstage and in the days, because they were in town for a couple days, and then what happened in Las Vegas. There's a whole other story that goes with this little tale, with this little cautionary tale. That's what it is today, the cautionary tale for people who have a couple beers and get too big for their britches. Alright guys, again, thank you so much for all the love, all the support. You guys are really fucking awesome. You rock. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate and love all the support. Meeting all the people, whether you've been around a long time or are just coming here. It is so awesome to meet you guys and have you be a part of my channel and hopefully growing it into something way bigger. You guys are fucking awesome. You are my foundation. Alright guys, we will see you next time here on Cocktails and Rocktails with Notorious Groupie me. Cheers, big ears.